the very beginning, we flew my whole intake from Auckland to Wellington. Spent a day in Wellington with the mission president. Did some street contacting because that's the biggest city in the mission. Wellington's the capital, and talked with a few people and did some stuff. And the next day, they put me on a bus to my first area, which was a little farm town, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And they all say, right, New Zealand has probably 100 sheep for every person. And I can confirm that because 99 of those sheep must have lived in this first area. There was just so many. So my very first day, I was put on the bus with a couple other missionaries, and we'd go a little ways, and we'd get to one big town, and some missionaries would get off, maybe one would get on. Then we go a little further, more missionaries get off, more get on. And then we pulled up to this little, it seemed like just a little bus stop in the middle of nowhere to me. And they said, well, this is Dannyburg. And I'm like, oh no, this is where I'm supposed to get off. And so I get off, coming from Southern California like myself, I'm used to big cities. I got off pretty much in the middle of farm town nowhere is what it felt like. And I got off and I walked outside and I saw my trainer and his companion who was getting on the bus to go further along the way. And so I said, hey, Elder so-and-so, hey, Elder so-and-so, nice to meet you guys. And then the other elder got on the bus. And then the first thing that happened is my trainer said, oh no. And then he ran on the bus too. And so here I was just feeling already abandoned by my trainer. And like the first 10 seconds of meeting him, it turned out that the companionship cell phone, the other missionary had taken on the bus with him. So my trainer had to like run on the bus to try to get it before the other guy left. But it didn't take long. I got into New Zealand in the middle of the winter to find out that New Zealand, even though it's Polynesian, you think that might mean, really warm tropical. It's in the South Pacific, but it's a little bit too far south sometimes. So it can get pretty cold and it gets super wet, rains all the time, especially during the winter. And I think my first big takeaway that first week was that you have to acknowledge the fact that you're going to get wet, because if you want to stay dry, you're just going to be miserable when you do inevitably get wet. If you just accept it, then things tend to go better from the start.